Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and I'm looking at a book from Jordan Publishing, which is in a series of books from the Association of Personal Injury Lawyers. It's this one here. It's called Guide to Child Abuse Compensation Claims, now in a second edition. You can see the book itself. It's only about 350 pages long. It's got some very useful structure to it, which I found helpful. You've got nice numbering at the side so you can find what you're looking for very quickly. There are footnotes which are helpful too. There's a short index at the back which I think does help if you're looking for something quickly. And within the chapters you've got everything you really do need to know about this particularly difficult area of law. The table of cases are nicely set out, and the contents are also well set out so you can find things with relative ease. And there's also a statement about APIL at the front, which gives you some idea of exactly what the organisation does, because this is one of a series of books for people who are practitioners in PI, as I am, although this is not an area I particularly practice specifically in. We have given it a title of Compensation for Childhood Abuse, and that's what's on the net, and we've also sent the reviews to the Law Society journals and various other journals so that people are aware that this book is around, and you've got some idea of the value of it from the extracts of the judgments. I've just taken it at will, and you see some of the extracts there, the very pertinent statements made by various senior judges. What we say about the book is this, though. It's now in its second edition, published by Jordan's, and it's a book which is a boon to PI practitioners, lawyers or anybody involved in advising victims of child abuse. As I said, it's a difficult area of law. It's not one that many people are that comfortable with, but it has to be dealt with, and the issues can sometimes be very, very difficult, and so you have to have a certain sensitivity in the way in which one approaches the subject and handles the clients and all the other matters that are involved in the issues. It's written by acknowledged experts in the field, and I'll mention them by name. They are Elizabeth Ann Gumbel, Queen's Counsel, Justin Levinson, Malcolm Johnson and Richard Scorer. So it's a team of people who've come together under the APIL umbrella to give us the expertise they have. And in our experience, of course, district judges who hear such cases have often been members of APIL or are very familiar with its work, so they'll have some understanding of why this book is so relevant. It's not surprising that this volume has become known as the definitive guide to this particularly challenging area of law, and it's highly recommended in our view to practitioners who represent survivors of abuse, notably those who seek fair and just compensation for what has happened to them. And as I said, this is an area that one has to look at very carefully. So if you're a practitioner in this area, the guide presents all the information you need to pursue compensation for claims for clients who have experienced suffering from abuse, whether it's physical, sexual or emotional. Virtually all aspects of this area of law are covered, together with the relevant legislation and, as I've indicated, judicial statements. The 10 chapters start with the background and history of abuse claims themselves, followed by a detailed explication of the statutory framework. Subsequent chapters deal with a range of topics including causes of action, causation, damage, criminal injuries, church matters, compensation, evidence, and finally funding and enforcement. It's the final chapter with its startling observations on enforcement and its pitfalls, which may well be of particular interest, especially to practitioners who do not routinely practice in this area and therefore require some sort of guidance, which the book so amply provides. And that in fact is the chapter. I'll just show you. There's funding and enforcement, which is the last chapter, chapter 10. So let me conclude by saying that this is a scholarly, thoroughly well documented treatment of what is a specialist subject written with clarity by the 4 authors. It's worth noting that this new 2nd edition has been extensively updated and revised to include the latest development in this difficult field. To facilitate further research, the book contains lengthy tables of cases, statutes and so forth, together with an index, which I mentioned, and it does actually help if you're looking for something very, very quickly. The publication date is actually March 2011, so it's relatively new and very much in a series of publications linked between Jordan's and APIL. And it remains to us a special friend as a practical and authoritative guide for practitioners in this difficult area of law. So thank you very much to the 4 authors and the team at Jordan's. We're most grateful for this, and of course to APIL for sponsoring it. Bye bye.